Hey guys, welcome back to planetjejuda and happy Loom Knit Day. And since we have fallen off the Loom Knit Thursday kick for probably a month now, we are obviously just going to call it Loom Knit Day. I will have a loom knitting video every week. It just may not always be on Thursday. And as you could see, I have already gotten started on my project, and today I am going to show you how to do the garter stitch. It is a simple stitch, and I'm using the E-wrap knit stitch, and I will show you that when I bring you down. But yeah, we're going to learn how to do the garter stitch. Alrighty, so of course we will need our usual things, which will be your hook, scissors, a darning needle, and if you can, a counter or pen and paper to keep track of your rows, and then as well as your yarn of choice. I am using Red Heart Super Saver in white, so that is my yarn of choice today. The garter stitch is very simple. It is just a series of knit and purl stitches. It's just how you arrange them that makes it the garter stitch. And the E-wrap itself is a loosey-goosey kind of knit stitch, so it's going to give what looks like a curly effect to your knit. I don't know, can you see that? Anyway, so the garter stitch is one row is knit and one row is purl. I am on a I'm on a knit stitch because I'm doing it flat. I know which anytime I go to the right is purl, and anytime I go to the left is knit. And I am going to the left at this moment. I am making sure I am at the number that I left off at. And I initially was skipping that first peg when I was going back to the left, but because it is a purl stitch that ends here, it creates a different look on the side, and I will show that in a little bit. But I thought I would try not skipping that first peg and see how that affects the side and the look, because you'll see what I mean in just a moment. But right now we're working on the garter stitch, which is a row of knit and then a row of purl. And if you're doing it in the round, you're just gonna, when you end, you're just gonna change over to the other stitch, whatever you're working on. But right now I am doing the knit stitch in the E-wrap, which is wrapping it from behind to the front and then knitting over. So I was thinking as I was working on this prior to filming that I am going to try and do a different stitch or series of stitches every week. So that would leave me with 52 at the end of the year. And I didn't know if I wanted to just leave my squares at 52. I am doing squares. Each time I do this, I'm going to do a square. I already figured out I want to use this 24 peg loom, and I'm doing it flat, going all the way across, just not finishing to create the circle or the round. And so I wanted to make the square, and I know how many rows I'm going to do each time I do this. I'm going to do a total of 38 rows, not including the cast on and cast off. So I'm hoping that would give me 40 total rows. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to see how that would create the squares that I want to do. And then I was trying to figure out, do I want to make this a blanket eventually, which means I would need a much more words. Sheesh. significantly more squares. So I was thinking instead of just doing the 52, I would double that at least to give me 104. And so my next question is, obviously I'm going to show you the one square. And I was thinking, okay, do I want to do all white squares? Do I want to do all different colored squares? And so then I started thinking, well, if I show you how to do the different stitches in white, I would just have a contrasting color to be its duplicate. So I wouldn't have two whites doing the same stitch. I would have a white and then a different color. So if you did that, what color choice would you do opposite to white? Because obviously I'm already starting with white. I'm going to go ahead and mark my stitch or my row just before I forget. So obviously I'm going to do all of these to show you guys in white, and then I just need a contrasting color. So let me know in the description box below what color I should pair my white squares with. So I am at number 33. We just finished an entire row of knit stitches. Now we're going to go back the other way and do our purl stitches. Now on this side, I am going to go ahead and skip that first peg because, and like I said, I'll show you, it has that edge that I want. So I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'm just going to have to play with it, obviously, because I'm, like you guys know, I am still learning this myself. So now we're doing the purl stitches, which is to go under this top loop, scoop up the bottom loop and pull it through, and then take off that top loop and then put on the new loop. So we are going to purl all the way across to the other side and finish, and then repeat until I am finished. So purl and knit, purl, knit each row. So basically it's a 2-row repeat, your first row being knit, your second row being purl, and you just keep doing that until you get to the length that you want. And as I stated, I want to do 38 and having my cast on and cast off be my total of 40. So I'm going to go ahead and continue purling, and then I will show you how I start this one again and do the E-wrap knit stitch. Now there are 4 different knit stitches to use that you can use. E-wrap is the most, I would say, the easiest for someone just learning how to loom knit. Then the U-wrap, which E-wrap, when you do it around the peg, it looks like an E. U-wrap, when you do it, it looks like a U. Then there is the flat knit, which literally is just putting your working yarn, and then actually you would be putting it over. So if I were to do the flat knit, you just put it over and knit over it. I'm not going to do that because I've already started this with the E-wrap, and right now I'm doing purl stitches anyways. Excuse me, my throat is so dry and I don't know why. So anyways, then there is the true knit stitch, which I haven't ever done. I have done all 3 of the others, the E-wrap, U-wrap, and flat knit stitches. I prefer E-wrap and U-wrap, U-wrap being the easiest for me anyways, for individual, like that. Sorry, my brain, I'm recording this early, and because we are going to be celebrating my grandson's birthday and then doing Christmas, because he was at his mom's for Christmas and his birthday. And so we're having a party tomorrow, and I just want to be able to focus on that and not have to focus on anything else. So I am recording this. They are actually here right now, and so I would have had this recorded a long time ago and edited and ready to post for tomorrow, but no, I am doing it at almost midnight. So anyways, we are going to continue doing our purl stitches until we reach the end of our row, and we are almost there. And as I said, I was skipping the first peg on the way back for a while. I did about half, I think, maybe just over half, skipping that first peg, and I'll show you how I would have done that and then how I'm doing it now. So I don't know, we'll see how the edges look when we're done. Not that it's really going to matter, because I'm going to stitch all these together eventually anyways. So we are doing our last purl here, and normally I would just skip it and go on to the next peg. But because I am not skipping at this moment until we get done, I am wrapping that first peg. There we go. I'm wrapping it, coming from the left, wrapping it around to the right, and then moving on to the next peg and doing my E-wrap. Did I already, let me, here, little trick there. Did I mark it? No, I did not. So now we just completed row 34, and we're going to be completing 35 right now. And I'm going to go ahead and continue on. I'll let you watch for another couple of rows, and then I will finish with my bind off and show you the result at the end. Enjoy a little bit of music. Alright, so we are successfully off the loom, and this is what we've got. Obviously, I have a lot of work to do, learn how to do some of the stitches better. I think I definitely will, for at least this, I will do not skip that first peg. This is the knit side where I went to the left and then started with the purl, and so that it gives a really nice edge, but it's very loose. I do need to tie this off. I didn't do that very well. And my bind off is definitely it's tight. It needs to be a little bit loosened up. And then I don't know if you can see this very well, but I did, like I said, halfway skipping that first peg, and then the other half I wasn't skipping the first peg. And to be honest, there is a difference. There is a visible difference, but it really doesn't matter on this side because of what it is. So, and then I'm pleasantly surprised at my cast on is not so loosey-goosey that I need to tighten the stitches, but I still could tighten the stitches if I wanted to. So obviously this isn't a square. I do need to weave in my ends, but this is what, and it looks fairly the same on both sides. This you see the purl stitches mostly, and this you see the wavy knit stitches, and that the waviness is due to the E-wrap knit stitch. It'll look different if I do it with the U-wrap, the flat, and the true knit stitches. So if you'd like me to do that, I can. I will probably do one where I do just the knit stitches and show the difference between each stitch, you know, do a little swatch. It probably won't be for this specific project, but I will definitely show what each knit stitch looks like. So that being said, this is for my project, my 52 different stitches or patterns of stitches or whatever, you know, learning how, you know, how we do most of the loom stitches. So have you thought about my contrasting color? And I'm going to duplicate, it may not be exact because this was my first one, and my second one in the other color might or definitely will come out somewhat different from this one. Excuse me. And the idea I was thinking is my first square on the top will be the white, and then the other color will be my last square at the bottom. And then for each stitch in succession that we do, I will alternate the colors. So sorry about that. My phone decided to go off. So anyways, I will always show you how to do the stitches in the white, and then I will do the contrasting color to duplicate it so that we have a total of 104. Yes, because there's 52 weeks. 104 squares. And then we will put them all together at the end of the year. We'll see what transpires. So now that we've got this done and I have it, I wonder what it would look like if I stretched it. So let's see. Not much changes. Oh my. Because this is so tight, it won't let it. But look at that. My cast on came out really well. Now let's see how it works this way. That is very interesting, very cool. Gives it a much more square look. I definitely need to work on my cast off and see what I can do about here. But when I put the stitches or the squares together, it's probably not going to make that much of a difference. I'm going to go ahead and weave in my ends and finish this off, and then I will come back up and give you my final thought. Okay, excuse me. Okay, so true to fashion, I tried to tighten that cast on and of course have ruined it. I may redo this square in the white just to see. As you can see, the curliness is the curly texture is from the E-wrap knit stitch. This is the back, and what you're seeing is mainly the purl stitches, I believe. I definitely have a lot to practice and work on, which is my cast off for sure. I need to see if doing not skipping that first stitch on the purl starting side, if that would make this any better. I just don't like the way it looks, even though it has that neat edge. it's really loose, and I think that has to do with the way the purl stitch is. And then this side, I mean, it didn't matter really one way or the other how I did it. This half is skipping that first peg, and this half is not skipping the first peg, and it really doesn't look any different. So either way, that one doesn't make a difference, but there you go. That is the garter stitch. I know it's not perfect, but like I said, this is my first time doing the garter stitch. So, but man, look at that stretch. That's really kind of cool how much it has to give. And too bad this wasn't as loose as the bottom, because man, that would be really cool. So we will see how the rest of them play out. But yeah, let me know, what color should I do as my contrasting color? As I said, I will always do the white for the video, but I will be making a duplicate square in a contrasting color. And I may just keep this one because, you know, it is a learning process, and this was my first one, and we'll see how my contrasting color works out. So stay tuned, and yeah, if you like this video, hit that like button, and if you'd like to be notified of any and all future uploads, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to click on that notification bell, and share with a friend. Leave me a comment. What color should I do as my contrasting color? So basically, it's going to be a checkered pattern. It'll be the white and then whatever the color, then white and whatever the other color is. And I will put them opposite these, you know, the stitch opposite of each other. So this is my first, and then the one in the other color will be my last, and then it will go on as we go along. So hopefully I will get better at this. And with that, remember, gravity works, guys.